Well, hello, friends, and welcome to the $1 Million Message. This is National Sales Director Kristin Sharpe coming in with your Thursday Thankful Message. And today, I want to talk about the power of self-coaching. You see, as we are racing to the finish line in the month of June to end our Mary Kay Seminar year, I'm guessing that you have some really, really big goals. And I also want you to know that when we have big goals, things start happening where perhaps if our mindset is not in check, we might be questioning if it really is something that we should go after or if it was really meant to be. And that's why I want to talk to you about the power of self-coaching. Because you see, the top achievers, the queens, the people at the top in Mary Kay have mastered this skill. And I believe self-coaching goes right in alignment with grit. And when you look at the top people and their success stories, they still have life and crap and the nose and all the things happen. But the difference is how they have learned to self-coach. You see, one of the battles that we all have to fight is the battle of discouragement. Not just in life, but in our Mary Kay business. I mean, it's just what happens, right? Our dreams don't always come true on our timetable. And we all go through disappointments, okay? Just know, even at the top, we've probably had more no's and more disappointments. We have missed goals. We've had adversity too. And in those times, it's easy to lose enthusiasm, happiness, joy, passion for life or your business. But in those times, it's good to have, of course, family and friends to encourage you, or a sales director, a recruiter, or a national sales director. But one thing that I've learned is that other people can't keep us encouraged. Other people cannot keep us cheered up. They can give us a boost. They may help us from time to time. But if we really want to have a life of success, that encouragement, self-motivation, self-discipline, and self-coaching has to come from the inside. We must learn to self-coach ourselves. And this is especially true when times get tough and things aren't going your way. Because in those moments, you may not feel like pursuing your business or your dreams. And you might be telling yourself, oh, it's not worth it. Or there's no way I can make that happen by June 30th. Or, oh, this happened. So that's probably a sign that I shouldn't go after this. It's never going to get any better. Or you might as well just settle for where you are. But deep down in your heart, there has to be a resolve, a strength on the inside that says, no, I refuse to settle for where I am. I know God has given me this dream and this goal for June 30th. I know He has a great plan for my life and business, and I'm pressing forward and becoming everything that He has created me to be. You must draw strength, encouragement, and self-motivation from within. Sometimes when you need encouragement the most, those that you're counting on to encourage and motivate you, they're not going to be there. The friend who normally you call, she might be out of town, or your spouse might be having a tough month, or maybe your recruiter or director is preoccupied with her own stuff. So when you learn to dig down deep and encourage, motivate, and self-coach yourself, there is such freedom. So when you're in difficult times and you're tempted to get down, whether it's a bad production month or maybe all your parties have canceled or a team member quits, you miss a goal, don't dwell on the negatives and replay over in your mind why things won't work or how impossible your situation is. You have to stop the chatter in your head, that negative self-talk. So instead, what top achievers do, they start playing over in their mind all the great things that have happened. That's right. Learn to play over in your mind all the great things that have happened to you. How is your life blessed? What is going great? What are you most thankful for? I mean, you're a Mary Kay beauty consultant, for goodness sake, with a company that millions of women want to be associated with. So think of a time when you were disappointed, when maybe it seemed like all doors were closed to you. But now looking back, you know things worked out for the best. So learn to play the victories over and over in your mind. You see, that's what top achievers in this business choose to do. They learn to play the victories over and over again in their mind. You see, if you've suffered a setback or you've been through a disappointment, remember, every setback is a set up for a comeback. You may have been knocked down, but you weren't knocked out. You've got to get back up, dust yourself off, and remember that God has you in the palm of his hand. Mary Kay Ash used to always say her knees were the bloodiest of them all, which meant she failed more and she got up more, right? So much of self-motivation and self-coaching is really truly the conversations we have in our own head. And I heard this fact, it just stuck with me. 85% of our Mary Kay business is mental, 15% is skill. And if that is the case, we need to spend and make sure we're spending a whole lot more time getting our heads right. So if you want to make a change in your life and make it for the better, the one thing that you can do that all successful people do is change your self-talk and learn the art of self-coaching. So think of it this way. The human brain operates in many ways like a computer. Whatever you put in it is exactly what you will get back out of it. You put in positive, you get positive. You put in negative, you get negative. The brain stores messages for us. Think of it like a giant filing cabinet. And it doesn't know the difference between something that is true or false, bad or good, positive or negative. It just takes the messages in, stores them, and acts as if the messages as if they were true. So the result of this is that who we are or who we believe ourselves to be is based on the programs that we have stored about ourselves in our subconscious minds. Without us even thinking about it, our programs take over and direct our lives for us. Ooh, this could be kind of scary, right? So self-coaching is the skill that I use more than anything else to move women up the career path, but also to self-motivate and keep myself on track. So self-coaching impacts your business, your relationships, how you interact and communicate with others. And self-coaching is the skill for self-development and performing at your best through the art of asking yourself quality questions that challenge, stimulate, and guide you to continual growth and progress in your business and life. So you have to learn to coach yourself when you have gone from self-awareness to self-reflection. So self-awareness leads to self-reflection, which naturally leads to self-coaching. So I love the African proverb. Maybe you've heard it. When there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot harm you. When there's no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot harm you. Okay, I love that. All right, so I want to expand on some of the coaching questions I say to myself, and perhaps that this can help you too. Okay. When I say something or catch myself saying something negative to myself, like, why is no one showing up for the unit meeting? Or, why is everyone ghosting me? Or why is no one booking with me? Okay. I have to say to myself, this thought is not serving me. Okay. This thought is not serving me. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Or ask myself, what would be a better thought in this moment? Okay, let me expand. Do you ever say things like, this isn't working for me? Or, I'm so discouraged? Or, I'm lacking courage? Okay, do you realize that we have an average of 156,000 to 166,000 thoughts per day? And if those thoughts go unchecked, 90% of them can be negative. And 80% of the thoughts that we thought yesterday, we're thinking today. So it's critical to catch your thought in the moment and ask yourself, is this thought hindering me or helping me? You see, what's going on in your inner world is reflected in your outer world. Okay. 7% of what we communicate to others is through our words. 38% of what we communicate to others is in our tone, pace, pitch, and our voice. And 55% of what we communicate to others is through our physiology. Crazy, huh? That equals 100%. So when we use the word overwhelmed, our words, tone, pace, pitch, and physiology can make other people nervous or tense. And think about it. No one ever said, I can't wait to be overwhelmed too, right? That type of self-talk makes people say, I don't want to do this. Okay, so rather than saying I'm overwhelmed, you could say to yourself, I have an abundance of possibilities that I get to prioritize. I have an abundance of possibilities that I get to prioritize. or I have a full and blessed life. I have a full and blessed life. Okay, so many times when I don't want to say the word overwhelmed, but you know where I'm going with this, right? I have a lot of stuff to do. I'm wondering how I'm going to do it. I ask myself, what can I do to maximize this moment? Okay? Or what will give me the greatest return on my investment of time today? Or whose life can I impact today? Or how can I make an impact today? Or like I said, I have a full blessed life. I say that a lot right now with a 9-year-old in All-Stars and a 1-year-old that's going around crazy. Before I recorded this message, she had actually put my cell phone in the garbage can and I couldn't find it for 24 hours. In June, I couldn't find my phone for 24 hours. I knew it was in my house, but it was dead. And lo and behold, it was in the bottom of my garbage can with dirty, stinky diapers on top of it. Wow, I have a full, blessed life. Okay, you guys, how we overcome our circumstances is also an example for our children and our grandchildren. And what we focus on, we get more of. Okay, so truly, because of Mary Kay, it's taught me that each challenge and adversity is a temporary circumstance. Every breakdown that happens in life is preparation for a significant breakthrough. So when things don't go according to plan, I want you to ask yourself, how did I learn from this? Or how can I do better next time? Or what can I do differently that will give me a different result? You will always get a more beautiful answer with a more beautiful question. Okay? This is key to self-coaching. You will always get a more beautiful answer with a more beautiful question. So only in the deepest of valleys are the greatness of the mountaintops defined. So you got to keep your mindset positive. So I'm going to close with just a couple tips between contrast and clarity statements, okay? So a contrast statement is when you would say to someone, don't hesitate to call, versus a clarity statement, call me soon. Do you just see how call me soon just sounds better than don't hesitate to call? When you say hesitate, it's almost like negative, right? It does something subconsciously. Or I don't want to fail, versus saying I expect to succeed. Or I'm not bad, versus I'm great. So one of the reasons Mary Kay Ash, when she would ask you if you said, you're not bad or I'm okay, she would say, no, you're great. Mary Kay Ash knew the difference between contrast and clarity statements. Or people say this a lot in the South. Oh, no worries, versus saying, I'm happy to. Or if you eat at Chick-fil-A, my pleasure, right? My pleasure. They're taught to say that. Or people say this a lot, no problem, versus that's easy. Do you see the difference? Or I can't versus I expect, I prefer, I'm committed to, I'm in the process of. Ooh, so good. All right. So remember, you guys, the majority of this business is a mental game. How you talk to yourself, the positive questions you ask yourself can make all the difference. So I hope as you're self-coaching for your finish and June 30th, you're asking yourself, how can I maximize this moment? How can I hit this goal? What can I do right now to move forward? How can I reset this day? I hope you're reminded that you have a full and blessed life, that you have the most unbelievable opportunity that you get to share with others. All right, this is National Sales Director Kristin Sharpe. I hope something I shared today makes a difference for you in your business. Make today a day that counts.